I'm going to give you a quick story. Maybe you know this story, maybe you don't. There is a mitzvah it's not a mitzvah from the Torah, but it's part of the Shulchan Aruch, that there's a way how you get dressed, and there's a way how you put shoes on. And the way to put shoes on is that you put your right shoe on, then you put your left shoe on, then you tie the left shoe on, and then you tie the right shoe on. Now there's a deep Kabbalistic explanation to that briefly what it's referring to is that first you wear everything that it's on the right side is chesed. You start with chesed. Then you put the gvura, the left side. But you don't want to be possessed with gvura the whole day, so you first tie the left side, you tie the gvura. You put it down, then you tie the chesed. But it's much more deeper, there's much more explanations, but this is just for you to get the idea, because most people don't even pay attention which shoe goes on. Now there is a story about an Israeli soldier that was in the IDF, and he has a miraculous story that one time he was hitchhiking to go home on the relief of Shabbat, and some religious person stops the car, tells him, where do you need to go? He says, I need to go to this place. The man takes him, and on the way the man tells him, very soon it's Shabbat. You're not going to make it all the way home. If you want, you can come to my home. I'll host you for Shabbat. Just don't desecrate Shabbat. And don't feel uncomfortable. You don't have to feel that you have to follow the rules. Just the minimum rules don't do. And the rest, just be yourself. For whatever reason, the soldier agreed. And he went with this man and spent Shabbat there. Throughout the Shabbat, in one of the meals, somebody was saying this halakha about the shoes. And for whatever reason, after Shabbat, that thing got stuck in his mind. And I'm telling you the story very, very short. The next day, when he goes back to the army, the way how it works in the army, that in the morning, everybody goes into formation, what is called in Hebrew, misdar. Everybody standing in the shape of a chet, like that, and the commander will give the daily routine or whatever happens. Anyways, the guy stands and suddenly he remembers that he didn't do the whole shoe thing. So he asks permission to go to the bathroom. He runs to the tent, takes the shoes off, put the right one on, put the left one, tie the left, tie the right, comes back. Okay, the next day the exact same thing. He forgets, asks permission to go to the bathroom, he runs to the tent, does the same thing. And the third day also. On the third day, the commander was, what's going on? Every day in the time of formation, he's going to the bathroom. So he runs and looks for him. He finds him in the tent without shoes. So he puts him on court-martial. Why, you're making a joke? You're saying you're going to the bathroom and you're here in the tent without shoes? So he detains him to the base. This is a pretty common punishment in the army. For something minor, you get detained to the base. You're not allowed to leave the base. Now, I don't know if you remember, mainly Israelis remember that, about 24 years ago, I think the anniversary, I don't have to say anniversary, but about 24 years ago, was a very famous accident in the army. The two helicopters that were transporting soldiers crashed into each other. And 84, I think, or 87 soldiers died. Two helicopters crashed to each other, it was very bad visibility, and they of course, fell somewhere around here, by the way. Yeah, in Shar Yashuv. And anyways, it was a great tragedy. Just imagine 87 soldiers, 84, 87, I don't remember. But that soldier that got detained to the base didn't go on the chopper. And he, of course, his life was saved. And he right away understood, look at that, I was particular about such a small mitzvah, and I got punished, which at the moment seemed some big thing, but I was detained to the base and did not go on the chopper, and my life was spared. And this man, of course, is a Haredi man, lives in Bnei Brak, full-blown beard, the whole 9 yards, because when you see the miracle in front of your eyes, you have to be a fool not to do anything. But the point of the story is that you see how one little act is huge in the world above. My theory, my philosophy, my way how to see it If you stand now and the sun hits on you, then you see your shadow on the floor. Now for the shadow to move 1 millimeter on the floor, how many miles in space the sun needs to move? Hundreds of thousands to move the sun. Doesn't matter right now. We're not going to get into the astronomy part. The sun is moving, Earth is moving. It's irrelevant. But how many kilometers does the sun have to move? Because the tzir, I don't even know how you say that.
Axis.
The axis. I mean, look at my hand. Just to move a millimeter on the ground here, the sun has to move hundreds of thousands of kilometers. So one little thing in this world below, a little action that you do in the world above, just imagine the depth and how far it goes. So it's very important that this 40 days and bichlal, meaning and after that, every day you focus on something small and you add into your arsenal.